Hello, this is Mario Ricci presenting the Feral Hog Management Plan for Fort Chaffee Joint Maneuver Training Center with Environmental Management EVSP 501 through American Military University. Quick topic overview is going to be the feral hog or Sus scrofa. They are classified as an invasive species and a nuisance per the United States Department of Agriculture. Their growing population continues to damage agriculture and property while threatening natural resources. Their annual damage cost is estimated at $17 million in Arkansas alone. They damage cropland and natural woodland and pastured habitats while competing with humans for those crops as well as native animal species for the available resources and space. Feral hogs can transmit parasites and disease to both livestock and humans while contaminating soil and negatively affecting water quality with their urine and feces, particularly when traveling in large numbers. If left unchecked, their reproduction rate will further degrade habitat, crops, and outdoor activities that can be enjoyed by all, as well as the natural ecosystem within Fort Chaffee and, of course, the surrounding areas. My vision statement is to reduce the feral hog population on Fort Chaffee and surrounding areas to restore the ecological balance within the area. I have listed three alternatives. The first alternative would be no action or no additional action, and under that we would maintain the current trapping practices, which according to the Environmental Office of Fort Chaffee have proven relatively successful. We would also continue the newly implemented heli hunting efforts through the United States Department of Agriculture, which was just implemented this year. We are also going to, or would continue, documenting numbers and tracking data to the best of our ability. And the only issue that we can see with this would be a continued lack of support from local hunters, primarily in a public forum. Alternative B would be to add a hog-only hunting season. This might last 2 weekends, 1 full week. We could levy a small, something like a $5 or $10 fee to hunt for this particular period. And that fee could go to more programs for eradication efforts, could go to educational causes or additional traps. And as a result of that, we could require an orientation course that we could use for educational purposes. One portion of that could be, of course, the firearm safety and safety associated with so many people being out there hunting hogs with firearms. And then also making hunters aware of the true dangers to the habitat that are associated with capturing, transporting, and releasing live feral hogs. One downside of this would be the potential unsafe manner, of having several hunters out there at once. But again, hopefully we can negate some of that through that safety orientation course. And it also might be difficult to pattern hogs after this if we get a lot of people out there scaring the groups off and having them run in all different directions. Alternative C would be more harsh punishments for illegal activities. So looking at increasing the fine, which is currently set per Arkansas Code at $1,000 and 30 days in jail, up to the max allowable for a misdemeanor financially would be $2,500 and up to 6 months jail time for offenses involving the illegal sale, transport, and or release of feral hogs. And also issuing a permanent ban, especially from the Fort Chaffee Wildlife Management Area and potentially other wildlife management areas within the state as well. These may seem a little on the strict side. However, the current damage estimates as a result of feral hogs are well known, and that additional money or additional even jail time or permanent banning from state public use areas might make that unwitting hunter think twice, or anyone else for that matter think twice before illegally transporting and or releasing a feral hog. And the only issue potentially that I can see with this would be the uncertain level of support from the judicial system. Exactly how we can get these laws passed. That's something that I'm going to have to lobby for through the local judicial system. And my proposed alternative would actually be a combination of B and C in addition to what we're already doing. So, taking a look at the alternative C, that would be more of a deterrent method. Alternative B would simply be looking at adding to the resources that we have available to reduce their numbers while also gaining a little bit of financial assistance and support from the hunting community. And then, of course, adding those to what we are currently doing at Fort Chaffee. My success criteria would be overall reduced numbers of feral hogs reported on Fort Chaffee and the surrounding areas. I would look to attain accurate and repeatable methods for tracking their numbers. In the past, we've tried to track their numbers, but there have been some issues in that regard, but hoping to find a repeatable method of doing so. Observing an annual decline in the number of hogs, of course, given some calculated factors such as available mast. When there's a lot of acorns available, hogs are going to be less apt to come to a feeder. Also, flooding conditions or fire conditions within the area could also affect accurate reading of numbers. Fewer reports of crop damage to adjoining agricultural fields would also be a good key indicator of success, as well as an observation of increased habitat rejuvenation or habitat health for the native animal species. Something else that we could consider doing is going out there and begin taking water samples and continue that periodically to see if there's any difference as we move forward. And then, of course, hoping for zero reported sightings in the adjoining residential and commercial areas that have been established around Fort Chaffee. And if there are no questions, here are a list of my resources.